What if I told you that Kirk Frost, the guy who previously begged Rasheeda on national television to take him back after cheating and lying after humiliating her for half a decade, just done something so cold and planned that even Mona Scott Young had to blink? What if I told you that he didn't just ghost her, didn't simply replace her with Renee Ritchie, and didn't just slip out the back door of their marriage? He slammed her with divorce papers like a plot shock and a Tyler Perry finale. That's precisely what occurred when Rasheeda was out here attempting to repair her family film love, hip-hop with a straight face and keep her brand intact. Kirk was supposedly sitting in quiet, writing his name on legal paperwork, would terminate a 20-year relationship and didn't even warn her. With no SMS message, just a knock on the door with a manila, according to sources close to production. Rasheeda found out on camera, and when I tell you, even the boom mic operator gasped. So now, the internet is on fire, fans are demanding answers. Rasheeda's Instagram is filled, and Kirk is quiet as a damn tomb. But the real issue is why now, and what he's hiding, because this divorce isn't simply a split. It's a betrayal covered in legal paper, sealed with years, many secrets, and it's going to erupt. Let's not sugarcoat it. Kirk Frost just pulled one of the coldest and most brutal moments in love and hip-hop history. And no, this isn't a plot line. This isn't a rumor. This is a full-blown public ambush, clad in legal documents, because Kirk not only broke Rasheeda's heart, but he also surprised her on national. Rasheeda came up to her press shop like any other day, with her hair laid down and her clothing bursting. Cameras rolling, she was meant to be recording a commercial for her new collection. But she didn't realize she was going to be served literally. A man comes in looking like a normal delivery person, no drama, no ceremony, just an envelope. Rasheeda opens a clipboard, assuming it's a shipment, only to find those big black words that no wife ever wants to view: a divorce petition that has already been stamped, processed, and entered into the legal system weeks earlier. So let's stop for a second and understand that, because this wasn't some heat of the dist, was not Kirk lashing out after a quarrel, but rather a determined, intentional, and calculated action. According to production, Kirk has been absent for weeks, seldom turning up to shoots and avoiding sequences with Rasheeda. When he refused to shoot couple interviews, many assumed he was just weary of the reality drama, but in retrospect, he was getting set to ghost his wife permanently. And here's the kicker: the divorce papers were dated almost a month before they were presented to Rasheeda, which suggests Kirk was laying next to her, seated at supper, most likely kissing her forehead at night, while fully knowing he was going to officially detach TIs. What type of guy does that? A man with a plan? Kirk not only filed for divorce in utter quiet, but only 5 days later, he created a whole new LLC under his own name. No mention of Rasheeda, no shared assets, just him. And guess who was designated as the administrative contact for the business? Renee Ritchie. Yeah, the same Renee Ritchie that Kirk was seen with weeks ago. The same buddy he swore up and below was just a buddy. The same gal who's been floating about love and hip-hop like a ghost in stilettos. It takes a genius to link those connections. Let's backtrack even farther. Remember when the cast went out to that Atlanta lounge a few weeks ago? Social media noticed Kirk and Renee in the VIP area, too near, with her hand on his. People claimed it seemed pleasant, but now it appears like a preview. Rasheeda, he murmured something in her ear. She attempted to seem unconcerned when those photographs reached the blogosphere, so she posted some cryptic comments on Instagram. God removes to replace protect your peace. We all assumed it was generic energy, while behind the scenes, sis was tumbling. She allegedly approached Kirk off camera, and he denied everything, saying the media was distorting things and telling her she is being worried, and then he dropped a legal bomb on her life. So let's talk about the delivery, since Kirk didn't just deliver the papers via an attorney as a regular person, he had them served to her workplace on video while she was mixed up. Is not a mistake. It's a message, and that message was loud and clear. My marriage is finished, and I'm deciding how the public finds out the consequences. Was immediate. Rasheeda broke down. She didn't even finish shooting, burst out of the shop. No press, no tears. For the cameras, only wrath, humiliation, astonishment. Crew members stated she abandoned her. The phone behind her wig hat was partially off, and she stepped out gripping the papers as if they were a weapon. Meanwhile, the cast group chat was bursting, and Kendra reportedly wrote, "That is beyond cold." Spice wrote, "Ain't no way." And Young Jock, he allegedly volunteered to drive over and check Kirk personally. But Kirk was off the grid, and his phone went straight to voicemail. He blocked comments on his Instagram, and don't forget, he still hasn't released a single public remark, because that's what calculating guys do. Drop bombs and escape while everyone else is still choking on the smoke by sunset hash. Kirk Frost was trending on Twitter. This guy is pure evil. She should have left him years ago. Imagine serving your wife at her work and then departing. And the greatest question everyone kept asking was why? Now, why wait until everything were calm? Why chose this particular time to strike her with the coldest move in franchise history when she least expected it? Here's a hypothesis Kirk wanted out for a long time, but he did not want to appear like the evil person. So he waited, played the role, and let Rasheeda defend him online, protect their brand, defend their love story. And then when the new business was ready, when the rumors about Rini, he had already cushioned the impact with a typical narcissist chess move, love bombing, treachery, and ghosting. And if you think Rasheeda is remaining quiet, think again. She may have gone mute for the cameras, but sources say she's already lawyering up and she's not going down without a fight. One producer even intimated that Rasheeda may perform a sit-down exclusive raw, unfiltered, and ready to reveal anything. From the money, the other ladies, to the actual Kirk went away, because if you believe this stops with a piece of paper, you are dead wrong. This was simply the opening step in what may become Love and Hip Hop's worst divorce ever. And Kirk has another issue coming. Because although he may have walked away from Rasheeda, the public is not letting him off that easily, and next secrets are ready to leak. While Kirk believed he could serve divorce papers and disappear like a magician, and what he didn't expect was Rasheeda's return within 24 hours of being publicly humiliated, Rasheeda did what Kirk never imagined. She started to work. Let's start with the first move. The lawyer, according to reports, Rasheeda Khalon, one of Atlanta's finest family lawyers, is close to her camp and has a reputation for annihilating unfaithful spouses in court. We're talking about a lawyer who represented 2 NBA wives and helped one get away. Rasheeda stepped into the legal office with 3 properties and 80% of the brand they had developed together. Morning after she was served, she did not come in wailing, but with tax documents, contracts, passwords, and invoices from years of joint business brand arrangements and unexplained cash transactions from their corporate account. Let it sink in. While Kirk was out here thinking he was being slick by digging money, starting side enterprises, and putting Rini Rucci's, Rasheeda already had her own folder labeled just in case, and baby, it was thick. You see what Kirk forgot? Rasheeda is not new to this. She's faithful to it. She constructed her kingdom brick by brick right next to him. And for every he told AFib that she maintained, screenshots of every late-night meeting with business partners and timestamps for every new line of credit created without her knowledge. She filed a discreet warning. And when that lawyer questioned, "Do you have," Rasheeda said, "what color folder do you want it in?" Meanwhile, back on social media, things were escalating. Rasheeda followers were going rabid. Comments on Kirk's recent Instagram post, which was merely a snapshot of his shoes and a drink, evolved into a full-blown murder scene. "I hope those shoes help you flee from karma. You're the reason people quit believing in love. Handed you the entire kingdom and you turned it into a circus." Then came the blogs, one of which released a picture of Kirk and Rini entering a luxurious spa together days before the divorce papers were delivered. Another said they witnessed Kirk test driving a Porsche with Rini in the passenger seat, laughing like high kids. Now pauses, because if that is true, Kirk wasn't just preparing a new chapter. He was rehearsing it. And Rini, well, she wasn't keeping silent either. She didn't explicitly address the accusations, but she shared a reel on Instagram with the message, "Sometimes you have to let him go so he may find you." Now tell me which lady posts anything like that. Right after a married guy divorces his wife, one follower sent you a tape from the spa CCTV camera. Another wrote that you better hope she doesn't sue you for alienation of love. But the true twist is VH1. Producers were allegedly excited, since drama like this doesn't happen every season, a full-fledged scandal complete. With bureaucracy, love, triangles, and treachery. Emmy Bad is in the love and hip-hop world. So what did they do? According to sources, Rasheeda and Kirk were granted separate raw interviews. Rasheeda apparently agreed on one condition: she would be the last to speak. That's when things really got nasty. Because as Rasheeda started prepared to go public, she made an unexpected move. She phoned Rini's ex, the same guy Rini was apparently dating before she began snooping with Kirk. Rasheeda reached out to him, not for drama, but for proof. Screenshots, DMs, timelines, anything to verify that. Rini and Kirk's romance began years before the divorce, which might alter everything in court, because if Rasheeda can show adultery, she wins big. The prenup they signed back in the day contained a fidelity provision, and that may turn the whole financial game on its head. So now Kirk isn't just facing public outrage, but losing a portion of the enterprises he felt he could get away with. And let's not forget the brand's numerous companies who worked with Rasheeda and Kirk's Frost Bistro have allegedly suspended conversations and reevaluated partnership translation. The sponsors are pulling away. One spokeswoman from a clothing business said, "Bloggers, we're not supporting a guy who openly disrespects his wife and business partner has horrible optics." Even Yan Dandy Smith offered a veiled jab when males believe they're monarchs yet behave like clowns. Separation. Nah. This is a financial battle, and Kirk is losing soldiers quickly. His comment section is disabled, and his location tags are he hasn't been sighted at the Frost Bistro in almost a week. And the last time he went live, he terminated it after just 52 seconds when people swamped it with clown emojis. Meanwhile, Rasheeda has been too silent, which implies one thing. If our sources are correct, she is arranging a news conference rather than a YouTube video or a sobbing. Instagram live-streamed a complete press event with a combination of journalists and receipts displayed on a screen behind her, because when a woman like Rasheeda is publicly humiliated, she doesn't cry. Instead, she strategizes with the purpose of burning Kirk's whole phony enterprise to the ground. While this may seem like a lot already, believe me, the fire hasn't even begun because that's when the hammer drops. Rasheeda is ready to flip the table so hard Kirk won't know which the way is up, and Rennie may want to delete those spa pics because, baby, the criticism she's going to experience make the Kirk kiss controversy seem like child's play. So what happens? When a woman is despised, humiliated, and underestimated on national television, she doesn't weep, she calculates, and Rasheeda has gone from wife to fighter overnight because just as the world was gaping over smuggled footage, spa sightings, and Instagram hints, Rasheeda Kirk felt she would never take the step of subpoenaing his bank information. But she did. Let it go for the cameras when all IRS on. Him, court docs, bank statements, Frost Bistro transactions offshore, it all came tumbling down on Kirk's head like karma and heels. And let's just say the stats weren't. It comes out that while Rasheeda was doing publicity and creating their family brand, Kirk was surreptitiously routing monies from their joint account into a consultancy firm called Car Holdings. But here's the catch. The location stated for Car Holdings matched Rena's apartment building, suggesting that not only was Kirk likely paying Rennie's, he was supposedly doing it with Rasheeda's own money. Hold on, because this next bit is ridiculous. Rasheeda's lawyer disclosed at a preliminary court petition that one of Kirk's side enterprises was a so-called media company, had generated over $200,000 in hidden revenue last year, and guess who was the face of that brand? Rennie Rucci. The picture was actually on the marketing material Kirk claimed was completely commercial at this point. Even the judge raised an eyebrow. The dominoes began falling in love, and hip-hop producers, sniffing Emmy Gold, decided to broadcast the court papers in the upcoming season's teaser. The trailer included a 15-second video of Rasheeda smashing a file on the table followed by a voiceover, "You use me, you lied, and now you're going to pay." The fans went crazy. Rasheeda is poised to wreck Kirk's whole legacy, and it's the greatest narrative twist ever. History, how do you explain I bungled the bag, and Kirk eased? Meantime, Kirk mute no live streams, new postings, or appearances. Rennie attempted to play it sweet by uploading a TikTok dancing to "Can't Touch This" in a bathrobe, but the insults backfired. Cruel girl, you may want to dance your way to a lawyer. I hope that bathrobe keeps you warm while the lawsuit struck. Even her other castmates were distancing themselves. Spice unfollowed her, and Bambi tweeted the post said, "Some women would risk everything for a guy who can't even risk honesty." And that's when things became even messier. An anonymous source, reportedly someone from the production staff, revealed the second footage was more intimate, showing Kirk and Rennie in a back room at the Lot reunion taping. Kirk was naked, Rennie was arranging her hair, and Kirk said, I just want this divorce over so I can be with you freely." That tape went viral. In less than 6 minutes, millions of views, memes, think pieces. Fans zoomed up on Kirk's breast tattoo like it was the Zapruder video where Sheeta was remained quiet. But her team wasn't. Her public relations representative issued a statement that sent shivers through Atlanta's Mrs. Frost is presently focused on restoring what is rightly hers, her peace, authority, and portion. Rasheeda went on The Breakfast Club 1 week later, and she didn't hold back. "Back when I gave that guy 20 years of loyalty, forgiveness, and grace, he punished me with contempt, deception, and stolen cash." When questioned about Rennie, she stated, "That girl is not my problem. My issue is with the man who looked me in the eye and swore." Charlemagne attempted to joke, "So you're not going to pull a bonk?" Rasheeda yelled back, "I'm Rasheeda, not Bianca, and I don't recycle rubbish." The studio exploded. McFell. But the last blow, it was cinematic. Rasheeda presented a rebirth party is not only a divorce celebration, but a whole rebranding event with a new logo, music teaser, and skincare line, all marketed under her maiden name. She didn't simply abandon Kirk, she removed him from the brand, and then came the court documents indicated that Rasheeda was now demanding complete control of all joint business enterprises, saying fraud emotional, pain and plunder of marital assets even more startling. She said Rennie Ritchie, the lawsuit for willfully interfering in a marriage contract. You heard correctly, she's suing the side woman and legal. Analysts believe she could possibly win, since there are now proven emails between Kirk and Rennie revealed them while Kirk was still married. Rennie used Rasheeda's resources to organize business transactions, and the law deems it tortious interference if Rasheeda succeeds. Rennie may be ordered to pay reparations. Kirk might lose half of his possessions, and Frost Bistro could just become a lone Rasheeda empire. So what's next? Team is scrambling. He's apparently attempting to settle discreetly by paying Rasheeda a lump payment to make everything go away, but insiders claim she's not interested and doesn't want his money. One friend stated she wants justice and wants the world to know what he really is, and the admirers who are writing for her, called Tokers, are producing spoof movies reenacting the court drama. Instagram influencers are sporting Team Rasheeda clothing, and YouTube channels are setting records with each update because this is not simply a breakup. It's a blueprint, master lesson, and how go away, level up, and take the full empire with you. Rasheeda didn't simply lose a guy, she discovered her fire. And Kirk, we're going to find out how it feels to move from husband to husband in front of millions, are now asking what's colder than ice. It seems Kirk Frost with a pen and a motivation, but here's the genuine. Was this always his plan? Rennie Ritchie is just the next stop on a long trip of treachery. Or is Kirk actually whirling and colliding with every bridge he ever built just to pursue a moment of vanity? Rasheeda didn't just get given divorce papers, she was awarded freedom. When a lady like her stops sobbing and begins to calculate you better, I feel there is no coming back. So what? What happens next? Will Kirk struggle to rescue face or fumble at all? Attempting to protect Rasheeda's lawsuit will affect Rennie history of reality TV court, and will Love and Hip Hop Atlanta survived this? Is this the level of nuclear drama season that blows the whole franchise apart? Than that, we would want to know what you think. Is Rasheeda doing too much or not enough? Should Kirk be barred from all studios and bro in Atlanta? And should Rennie Ritchie saw this karma coming down? Please share your ideas in the comments section, reading every single one. Crush that like button if you believe Rasheeda just served coldest retribution of the decade. Subscribe for more exclusive breakdowns, leaked video, and courtroom turmoil, because this is just the beginning. Remember, when love becomes legal, the lies turn deadly. Stay tuned, stay loud, messy, because the truth is always juicier on camera.